Kevin, a point from a 3-3 draw at Topfield, Hitchin Town here today. Senses a lot of disappointment in that one because I don't think at any point it felt as if the game was truly in your control, and I know that's something that you prize.
Yeah, I think Hitchin, that they certainly don't look a team in relegation area. They've played there. They've been obviously lifted by a strong home following today, and moved the ball well in the middle third of the field. Can't deny that. But we've had the best moments, and when we've had chance of moments, early on we stuck them away. Remy and Ricardo doing terrific. One or two moments there from restarts that we pointed out at the start of the game. If we could work those areas and put the ball in the box, we knew we were going to cause some problems, and probably should have done a little bit better at one or two moments there. But yeah, just really frustrated the naivety we show at certain times, and just lack of understanding that you would expect to be better. Understanding that we're away from home. The first goal we get thrown high up the field, and when we don't organise as well as I would expect, I do find it disappointing. It's my job to do something about it, but I have to trust in players when they're out there. They can recognise and smell the danger. We didn't on a couple of occasions there. That is frustrating, but lots of positives. We've scored some good goals today away from home, taken the lead 3 times away from home and still not seen ourselves over the line. We have to look at ourselves and ask why. That is the situation. We've had chance at 2-1 to move the game away. We haven't finished that third goal at the right time, and we've had some really good opportunities that we should be finishing. And yeah, it becomes a bit disappointing then when, like I say, when you've been in the lead 3 times away from home and still don't come out with 3 points. But look, the effort levels were terrific today, and some good quality at times, some really naive defending, we have to say that. But credit to Hitchin, they've kept going and forced issues and moments, and I'm sure they'll kick on from here.
The last 15-20 minutes of that game it felt quite chaotic, really, almost as if what did transpire, you can almost sense sometimes that things like that are going to happen because the game just goes a bit crazy. I mean, the penalty award against Orrin Pendley, which we assume is for handling on the floor, I think, and
again, we have to understand as the way opposition, you can't afford them time and space like that, and you can't allow the rep, whether it is a penalty or not. I'm hard pushed to see he's gone to block the ball. But they're just getting far too easy there. It's a simple header to just go and clear the moment. We've just scored. Just clear the moment, and I'm frustrated with it. It's not a difficult moment to deal with, really. And when you don't, and the wide player ends up the other side of you, and then the referee's allowed to make a decision in front of a strong home following. I just find it really frustrating. We've just done brilliant to get ourselves back in the lead, and yeah, look, that's where we are, and have to deal with it and manage it and try to improve it.
Sure, and I mean, in your position, that's something you always have to look at that step back from a goal. I mean, we can see a moment, and you can look and think, well, was the ball handled? Wasn't it? I don't think anybody argue about it too much, but because you have to look a step back from that and go, could that have been stopped sooner?
Yeah, without a doubt. There were too much that led to it. That, like I say, just keeping your concentration at a time when we've just taken the lead again, and yeah, it's just a simple moment to defend for me. And when you don't, you're not going to take the full share of the spoils, But look, Hitchin have passed the ball well today, and they've been lifted, and they've got some talented players in the group. And I thought we've done, really well to get ourselves ahead. Like I say, on 3 occasions, we should have at 2-1. We should have killed the game. We've had one flash across the box that really we should be putting in, and a header at the far stick that we shouldn't be allowing the goalkeeper to make a save in that moment. But when you don't take your chances and put out that bit of fire that's in their bellies, they're going to keep going. And the crowd kept lifting them, and they kept believing, and they kept having moments. And that's where you find yourself, and we have to learn from that and understand from that, and find that little bit of probably more nastiness about our game to move it away from teams.
Do you think perhaps was there a sense in the group today that given the fixtures that you have, and it was Halesoe and you've got Stratford coming up, that this was perhaps seen as, and I don't mean any disrespect to Hitchin here, but the easier one? and that mentally players might not have been quite switched on for
I think
it.
you're always wary of that. As a manager, you're always wary of that, and always find if you need to understand the circumstances and the situations you find yourself in and how to deal with them and manage them. And this is a totally different set of challenges today to what Hale's Own was at home on Boxing Day. 2,000 people there. It's a different kettle of fish that we're having to deal with today. And I guess as a manager, that's what you want. Players that are able to deal with those situations and get through those situations and manage big moments in games. And today, reality is, whilst we've done pretty well for large parts, we've come up short in certain areas.
Sure. Did Hale's Own game take quite a lot out of the players? I mean, clearly it would have done. I mean, it's a big physical effort against a good side.
Yeah,
you're not going to point to that turnaround, are you?
Absolutely not. We've put a lot of effort into it, but if you're going to be successful in any season, it's got to be part of what you do. We can't be using that for an excuse. Hitchin are not looking for any excuses. I don't expect us to be. We're conditioned and should rest at the right time and do the right things, and kind of pride ourselves that we look after ourselves and do the right things. I don't think there's any lack of physical effort, and I think we look jaded today. Certain areas where we need to improve on, and one or two bits of athleticism where we've missed tackles and mistimed tackles and allowed people the wrong side of us. Some poor decision making at times there that's resulted in moments that occur that ordinarily wouldn't happen. You could point the finger and say, well, they're mentally they may be a little bit tired, maybe, but look, let's not look for excuses. Let's, understand we've got to get through situations and games like this. But yeah, look, Hitchin they're a good side. They've played well today and are capable and have probably got into as many scoring moments against us today as most any team has. And that's the strangeness of it. Hale's Owen didn't really get in too many moments against us, yet they're second in the league. So just understand the challenges you face. And as I say, it's different challenges, but you've got to be all things for all seasons to be successful.
Sure. I guess from a supporter's perspective, I guess they will feel doubly disappointed with this one because they will see other results that are going on around today. And we know that Hale's Owen have lost at Bedford. And that Kettering drew with Stratford as well. So they will perhaps see this as an opportunity lost. But of course, you don't know that at the time when you're out there. When you're managing during the game, your focus is on what you're doing and you're not thinking about that.
Yeah, like I say, concentration has to be on what we're doing and players worrying about that. Players won't have known that. I didn't know that on the side. And, my focus is on us trying to win games and making players understand it's about us winning games and getting ourselves over the line. And then obviously, when you look back and you see the results, if they've kind of gone your way, it does make it feel all the more worse. It feels bad enough now anyway when you take the league 3 times away from home and don't close it out for the win. But look, you can't deny Hitchin have had a right go at us today and got in 1 or 2 moments that we wouldn't be comfortable with. I'm not so sure it was like necessarily the way that they, play. They got one ball beat us, I think, in the first half there, where the boys got into a really good position. They've had one soon after half time. He's got into a good position and dragged it across the goal. But equally, the gilt edge moments that have been missed were down to us. That's what we have to learn from and we have to improve upon. And obviously the intention will be that we do exactly that. Against a game against Stratford on New Year's Day.
Kevin, as always, we thank you for your time. Final sign off for 2024. We'll see you in 2025 at Stratford.
Thank you.